When you imagine a wealthy person, what appears in your mind? A luxury car, a designer suit, a massive house. We've been conditioned to associate money with visible signals. The louder the display, the stronger the assumption. But that assumption is often wrong. The people who project wealth the hardest are frequently financing that image. Payments, debt, constant upgrades, all to maintain perception. Meanwhile, many individuals with substantial net worth blend in effortlessly. Real financial strength rarely announces itself. There's a difference between income and ownership. Income buys appearances. Ownership builds power. One disappears monthly. The other compounds quietly. Truly wealthy individuals understand something most people overlook. Visibility attracts expectation. Expectation creates pressure. Pressure influences decisions. If everyone believes you're wealthy, you're subtly forced to maintain that standard. Nicer dinners. Better vacations. Bigger purchases. The image becomes expensive to protect. But when you appear ordinary, you gain flexibility. You remove performance from your lifestyle. No one expects extravagance. No one demands upgrades. This isn't about pretending to struggle. It's about refusing unnecessary signaling. Because wealth is not measured by how impressive your life looks. It's measured by how secure your future is. And security grows best in silence. The moment you stop performing success for an audience, you start building it for yourself. There is power in being underestimated. When people assume you have less, they lower their guard. They reveal more information. They compete less aggressively. They don't perceive you as a threat. That dynamic creates opportunity. In business, negotiations, even social circles, perceived modesty gives you strategic leverage. You observe without being scrutinized. You move without attracting resistance. Wealth that is broadcasted invites comparison. Comparison invites rivalry. Rivalry invites unnecessary risk. But discretion creates calm. There's also a psychological layer. When your identity isn't tied to visible consumption, your confidence becomes internal. You're not dependent on approval through possessions. Your sense of worth doesn't fluctuate with upgrades. That mental separation changes financial behavior dramatically. Instead of asking, "Does this make me look successful?" you start asking, "Does this strengthen my position?" The second question leads to better decisions. Many affluent individuals protect their peace deliberately. They understand that attention multiplies complexity. More visibility means more requests, more expectations, more obligations. Blending in simplifies life. And simplicity protects focus. Focus allows growth. Being underestimated is not weakness. It's strategic positioning. It allows you to move quietly, accumulate consistently, and expand without distraction. In the long run, the quiet operator usually outperforms the loud performer. Not because they earn more, but because they waste less energy proving anything. Let's remove emotion and look at numbers. Imagine two professionals earning identical salaries. One upgrades lifestyle immediately after every raise. The other keeps expenses stable and invests the difference. Initially, their lives appear similar. Same income. Similar social standing. 5 years later, the gap becomes significant. 10 years later, the difference becomes undeniable. Lifestyle inflation erodes financial momentum. Each income increase absorbed by spending resets progress back to zero. There's motion, but no advancement. However, when earnings rise and expenses remain controlled, the surplus becomes capital. Capital purchases assets. Assets generate returns. Returns compound. Compounding rewards patience disproportionately. A single disciplined decade can create financial acceleration. That looks sudden from the outside. Observers assume luck or extraordinary income. They rarely see the years of restraint behind it. Spending for status delivers instant gratification but zero multiplication. Investing for growth delays gratification but creates expansion. Many wealthy individuals choose the second path intentionally. They prioritize asset accumulation over social applause. They understand that visible luxury depreciates. Productive investments appreciate. Quiet wealth is mathematical, not emotional. Every dollar not spent on image becomes a worker. Every worker produces output. Over time, those outputs create independence. The flashy spender receives attention today. The disciplined investor receives freedom later. And freedom compounds more powerfully than admiration ever could. The ultimate benefit of looking modest isn't savings. It's control. High visibility lifestyles often come with high fixed costs. Expensive homes, premium vehicles, constant upgrades, these commitments demand steady income to sustain. That dependency reduces flexibility. When your financial obligations are heavy, walking away becomes difficult. You tolerate environments you dislike. You delay risks you want to take. You trade time for maintenance. But when your lifestyle remains intentionally simple, your required income decreases. Lower obligations create maneuverability. Maneuverability creates options. Options create power. True wealth isn't about owning more. It's about needing less. When you require less to operate your life, you become harder to pressure. Employers lose leverage. Markets lose intimidation. Circumstances lose control. Many affluent individuals design their lifestyles around autonomy, rather than aesthetics. They choose privacy over prestige. They choose stability over spectacle. This approach also protects mental clarity. Without constant financial strain, decisions become strategic instead of reactive. You can invest during downturns. You can pursue long-term opportunities. You can decline offers that don't align with your goals. Because you're not trapped by appearances. Looking wealthy can trap you in maintenance mode. Looking ordinary can place you in expansion mode. And expansion always wins long-term. So why do many rich people intentionally avoid looking rich? Because real wealth is about durability. Attention fades. Trends change. Status symbols evolve. But assets, when managed intelligently, continue producing. The individuals who prioritize substance over signaling understand long-term dynamics. They value resilience over recognition. There's also protection involved. Public displays of affluence attract scrutiny, expectations, and unnecessary exposure. Privacy safeguards decision-making freedom. Silence protects momentum. When you stop broadcasting success, you eliminate the need to constantly validate it. You shift from performance to progress. Instead of asking how impressive your life appears, you evaluate how sustainable it is. That distinction separates temporary prosperity from lasting security. The world celebrates visible upgrades. The market rewards disciplined allocation. Those who win financially over decades often move quietly. They build portfolios instead of personas. They measure net worth instead of applause. And when the cycle turns, recession, downturn, uncertainty, they remain stable while others struggle to maintain. Image-driven lifestyles. Looking poor isn't about deception. It's about strategic restraint. Because the strongest position in any financial journey is not appearing wealthy. It's being unshakable. And unshakable people rarely need to prove anything.